My grandfather started a drink stand in Vietnam in the 1950s, and he created his own recipe from scratch for bread and meat. When he escaped Vietnam, he came here and started up the ballet. At ballet, we serve Vietnamese and French food. It's a fusion of the two. Banh mi literally means bread, but when you say it here, it actually means a sandwich. And what you really should expect here is a baguette with different types of meat and pickled vegetables. It's fresh and it's authentic. We really do try and serve a piece of home, and if people feel that they're at home here, then we're happy.
So Emily, you say that Bali is life-changing. Tell us why you chose it.
This is kind of a long story of my search for the banh mi sandwich, which began with the New York Times article in April of 2009. They did this great piece on deconstructing the banh mi, investigated the best places in New York. So this kind of came out right before a trip to New York with my boyfriend. So we went, we saw, we ate, we conquered, we found the banh mi sandwich.
Well, tell us a bit what a banh mi is.
So it's this French Vietnamese sandwich. It uses the French baguette, it has pate, it has head cheese, it has ham, and then it has the Vietnamese fresh daikon, the jalapenos, the cilantro, and cucumber. A nice mix of rich, fatty meats and the fresh, cool vegetables current to Vietnamese style sandwiches.
Now, why is Bali's the best for you?
We went around Chicago, mostly in Uptown, and visited lots of the different shops, and this just had the best bread. The bread makes everything. Great quality meats. We tried lots of different options. They have everything from the traditional banh mi sandwich, which is with pate and head cheese and kind of more unsavory things that people in the U.S. aren't used to. They also have a great meatball, the barbecue pork, a little bit more palatable types of sandwiches, and lots of different offerings. They have spring rolls, they have great desserts, and lots of little treats to kind of discover. And the staff is so great. If you go ask them, what is this? How do I eat it? They take it out for you, they help you, they explain to you what it is. So.
Well, Ray, was this your first experience with the banh mi?
Yes, and it's breaking my heart a little bit to say this, in that when we got there, it was just kind of dirty outside. I know it's an interesting, unique neighborhood, so I love going to places where you can go kind of discover Chicago, why we're so great here, right? And I went in there, it was kind of dirty outside. It was a Monday in the afternoon. I took my godson and my fiance, and right away from the beginning, it was a little bit dirty. We walked in and there was kind of a hectic experience. People know what they're doing when they go in there. They walk in, they order, they know. And if you're new, you kind of have to study the menu a little bit and then get into it. But on the other hand, the sandwiches I thought were really good. Unfortunately, though, again, they got my order wrong. It's funny, I'm Mexican. I should love cilantro, right? I should brush my teeth with it. But I'm just not a big fan of it when it's so predominant, and they put a lot of it on it. I told them not to, and they did. I bit into it. I'm like, oh. But again, I think it has a lot of potential, but just that service, the cleanliness kind of did it for me.
Yeah, it's interesting. When you go into a restaurant like that, or you go into the places in Uptown, you kind of have to know what you're getting into, I think, a little bit. Maybe a more seasoned veteran wouldn't even think twice of having a little dirt on the ground or seeing some things around the neighborhood. So I'm sorry that happened.
But Liza, what'd you think?
Oh, Emily, you changed my life.
Yay!
Because Asian food hasn't been convenient ever. And you can walk in and there's that cooler of spring rolls and those vermicelli noodle salads that are pre-made. You can just run in and grab something. They have a few parking spaces. I have been there about 7 times since they told me to go for the show. I love it.
Had you been there previously to going for Check Please?
No, because I'd been down the street to a few places where I get spring rolls, but then you have to wait, and then this and that. But it's nice, I know what I can go in there and just grab and go. I got the barbecue pork once, and then you just experiment and get those smoothies. Everything has a label. The staff speaks perfect English. I mean, I'm Asian, I know. It can be hard to figure out what is in something. I mean, it's fantastic. I love it.
Now, also a great selection of desserts. Have we tried the desserts?
They have that little display as you walk in, the mini desserts that they have, and again, maybe just an off day, or maybe it was a Monday, I don't know, but the mousse dessert that they have there was just like very stale. It almost looked like plastic a little bit. And I brought my nephew, and we had the shea tree, and it's like tapioca, and it got I think coconut in there, and
The
beans
coconut
and
milk
rice.
with the bananas on top.
And maybe it's a different palate.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it.
loved it.
I didn't like it. I was
yeah.
expecting dessert sweet, you know, and my nephew was like, you're trying to feed me beans and rice, and it's a different palate. I completely understand.
So Emily, you can have a pretty decent lunch for $10?
Absolutely, 2 for $10.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go in, the sandwiches are all under $5 for the most part.
$2.95.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nowhere else in the city can you get a massive 9-inch sub
big.
stuffed with everything you could possibly
Great
want.
bread.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Ray, did you have a chance to sort of walk around and check out the neighborhood?
Definitely. After we had it was so packed and hectic in there and loud that we decided to have the food outside, and then we just kind of saw that down Argyle is like this other little world. So you definitely got to go and make time to have good sandwiches, and then go down the street and kind of discover the neighborhood.
Emily, you recommended Ballet. Sum it up for us.
It's a wonderful place to go if you're nervous about trying different food in a different neighborhood. Come up to Uptown. It's a really reasonable price point. It's a lot of fun, and definitely a good place to kind of get your feet wet.
All right. And Ray?
High energy place, great sandwich, very reasonable price. I was just lacking a little cleanliness.
All right. And Eliza?
Asian food meets convenience. I love it.
All right. Well, you can sample the sandwiches and much more at Ballet, 5014 North Broadway, 773-561-4424. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. Reservations are not accepted. Alcohol is not served, and the average tab per person without drinks is $10.